girl in the window.
Did you talk about Angela or Charles at the pool last night?
I didn't say anything. Okay? I thought we were making a music video, just outside, having a good time, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I heard Charles had a baby, and Shamia said that he always out with all these different women, allegedly.
All I can remember is Porsha saying, she better stop before her husband.
Our car will be here in 15 minutes.
You gotta listen when Porsha says she wanna your husband, because as history has shown us, she will your husband.
Porsha, what is going on with you this season? I was excited for you to come back, but it is giving flop, sis. Like, I get it. I know you can't go with the storyline that you originally wanted to go with, but this manufactured beef with Drew, this is not it, sis. I can't. All right? Hey, guys. Welcome back to my channel. We are here to review The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 8. All right? We are halfway through the season, and I'm here. I'm here. Let's just say that. I'm not going to say it's bad, but I'm not going to lie. Since Kenya left, I'm like, it's missing something. But we're not going to complain about the past. We're not going to live in the past. We're going to move on. But anyway, guys, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. If you happen to like this video, let me know by hitting that like button, all right? Now, let's jump right into it. This episode starts off with Shamia doing a country song. So she's singing a country song as they show flashes from the trip, the drama, and some of the fun they were having as well. So that was sort of like the intro for this week. There was no taglines, theme song, okay? So we jump into the episode and we see the ladies are getting up. It's the next day. This is day 2. We see Cynthia out in the backyard or whatever, in the like cabana area or whatever you want to call that. She's out there. We see Britt. She's moisturizing in her room. And then we see Shamia. She's getting out of bed. She's waking up, looking in the mirror like, oh my Jesus. So we see Britt. She FaceTimes her husband, Mike, to fill him in on the tea that's going on. And, you know, he's definitely sipping up all this tea. He got his cup ready. So she's letting him know how she felt about Angela and how Angela invited Drew to the trip, even though Porsha didn't invite her. So she's pretty much gossiping with her husband, with her bestie. It was giving besties with her good Judy. So now we see the ladies are getting up and they starting to come out of their rooms now. Shamia is FaceTiming Gerald. She FaceTiming him. He's with the kids. I guess something is going on with Shiloh. So, you know, she's a little worried, but he's telling her, I got this, I got it. So she's grateful and thankful for him. And she says he wants a son, and that's why she wants to give it to him. Shamia, that's beautiful that you guys want to extend your family, but I'm going to be honest with you. The way you keep talking about this, it's really giving... I don't want to say Gerald is forcing her to, but it seems like it's a lot of pressure on her. And knowing her condition and how she had, you know, 3 failed rounds of IVF, and then she also had the ectopic pregnancy, I'm like, you know, like, I don't know. I don't want to comment on that, but it's something about it that just seems like he wants this more than she does. You get what I'm saying? But let me mind my business, okay? So now we got Cynthia outside, and she's talking to Angela and her lifting lace. And it's funny because as they was going in, Angela was complaining about her lace. Like, girl, like, wear a hat. You see? Just letting Cynthia know how she feels like, you know, yesterday she was basically in a line of fire. She felt like the girls was coming at her, Porsha was coming at her, and she basically was like, she invited Drew because she thought they was good friends and she wanted them to come back together. And Cynthia is letting her know, you know, the whole situation with Drew and the whole working with the baby daddy thing, you know, that's an issue. That's not nothing small. She doesn't take that lightly. So now we see Angela saying, basically, she says she feel like she's catching all the strays. So it's funny because as they're talking, we see Drew pulling up in her ride. And as she's pulling up, they're going back in to go eat. So then Drew arrives and comes in like, I'm here, bitches. Like, you know. So they greet her. Angela's there. They greet her and Cynthia. And they let her know about the day's events they got planned. They're going to be splitting into groups. Some of the girls are going to do a whiskey tasting. And the other girls are going to do a bartending lesson. So, so she's basically hoping to have some type of resolve with Porsha because she's like, she's going to extend this last olive branch and basically, and that's all she can do. Pretty much. Like, how many olive branches could this girl extend? So now, basically, Angela shows her her room, and she's gagging because she's in the room with the bunk bed, the two beds, if you let Porsha, in Portia's words. But anyway, she's like, this is giving orphanage. And I said that similar last week. I said it was giving like summer camp dorms, jail type situation, like a dormitory type situation. So now, Angela is telling her about last night. She's telling her, you need to talk to Porsha. She asked her, did she talk to Porsha? And Drew's like, no. So Angela tells her, well, you need to. And Drew's like, wow, what's going on? So Angela lets her know last night how it was a big thing. Porsha felt away. And she basically let her know, like, she was at war last night. You know, she was at war. So Drew was right. Drew was like, girl, you brought this war on yourself. And that's true, Angela. You did bring this war on yourself. Nobody told you to invite her, even though it's good for the show. And I'm sure production told her, oh, no, invite Drew. But, you know, you did bring this on yourself. So why is Drew coming to fix this up? She didn't ask you to try to get her on a trip. You pretty much, like, I wouldn't say force her to come, but you pretty much like manipulated her to come. So anyway, we see the ladies are now all out now. They're having drinks or whatever. They got Cowboys serving them drinks. Drew comes out. She changed her clothes to get ready for the events. And we see Porsha and Shamia, and I don't know if it was Porsha room or Shamia room, but they were talking. And Porsha was telling her how them ribs she was eating last night was busting. So she woke up this morning and ate some first thing in the morning. That sounds like something I would do. So now Shamia asks her, she tells her, you're going to have a good birthday. You're going to enjoy your day. So she asks her, like, are you going to be able to enjoy yourself with Drew here? And Porsha's giving, you know what, I ain't stressing that. I ain't worried about that. She's here. It's my birthday. I'm not going to linger on that. So Portia's basically saying how she's not the type to keep an energy or, like, be angry and, like, hold. If she tells somebody, like, she's good, she's not going to sit there and have an attitude when they come around whenever. So she said, pretty much. So now, so she claims she's not on no bullshit. She's claiming she's not on no bullshit. So now the ladies are about to roll out. We see that Drew greets Porsha, wishes her a happy birthday. And Porsha receives it. So now we see the ladies off in the sprinter, off to go to their different events. So as they're in there, we see Shamia kind of has like a little moment. She like turns around and she's like looking like she's about to cry. She got emotional real quick. So, you know, I believe it was Kelly sitting next to her. Kelly was like, what's wrong? You okay? And so now everybody asking her, Shamia, what's wrong? Are you okay? So Shamia lets the ladies know that she had received a text from someone from her past. Now, she goes in to tell us that she was in a relationship. I forgot. She said the year. Was it 2014, 2014? She said the year, but she said she was in a relationship and it was an abusive relationship with someone who was well-known, well-connected, and popular in Atlanta. So basically, she said that when she first told this person that text her why she left him, she was married to this person, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry. She was married. She was married before Gerald. So when she was explaining to this person why she got the divorce because of the abuse, the person basically dismissed her like, nah, chill. Like, basically the same way Rashida and dismissed K. Michelle on Love and Hip Hop, like, I don't believe you, pretty much. So she said that all his friends, she thought was some of her friends, pretty much took his side. Nobody believed her, I guess because he was more popular and more connected than she was at the time. So she basically said that she gave us an example. She said the first time they was at the hotel, I forgot, she said the name of the hotel, but she said they was at the hotel and they was sitting outside. It was a popular hotel. And I don't know, something happened. And she said he hit her so hard, she fell out of her very first pair of Louboutins. So, yeah, and she was like, she was so embarrassed because everybody was just looking. And I'm like, nobody helped her? Like, what is going on? What is going on today? People be just watching. I understand when you see somebody. I guess if I see a couple, if I'm outside in the street walking and I see a couple fighting, I'm not going to probably get involved because I don't know them and they might turn around and jump my ass. But, like, I don't know how people could sit around and just watch a man it's not a fight. He just straight rocked her. And she's crying and everybody's just looking like, Anyway. So basically, she goes on to say that moment she just had, she got emotional because the person sent her a text earlier apologizing to her and telling her, you were right, I'm sorry. So that took her back, it took her back to that moment and it got her in her feelings. So they started talking about it. So then she asked Cynthia how her mother was doing. Because mind you, they were showing flashbacks of, if you don't remember, I forgot what season this was, but Kenya did a PSA. Was this season 14? I believe it was season 14. Kenya had did a PSA. It was about domestic violence. And a lot of the ladies on the people came in and told their story. And Shamia was one of the women, because they were showing the flashbacks of Shamia. And then they showed Cynthia's mother. I remember Cynthia's mother told her story as well. So it was like, a moment where they started to talk about it. And Cynthia told Shamia her mom's fine. Her mom is like the strongest woman she know. And, and she also says how she's surprised when she heard that about Shamia. She was surprised because Shamia is always the happy party turn up girl, so she never would have thought that. But it just goes to show how strong she is, and she wants to, she's glad, she's happy now. Okay, so that was a cute little touching moment, a little deep conversation about domestic abuse. So now, and I'm glad, and Shamia, I just want to say I'm glad that you got your what's the word I'm looking for? I'm glad that you have been exonerated from the people who didn't believe you, because a lot of the times it happens when you are in an abusive relationship. A lot of the times people will take the man's side, especially if he's more popular and connected than the woman is. So yeah, it happens a lot. Sometimes the woman could be more popular and connected than the man, and people will still believe the man, So now the ladies split up into their different groups to do their different activities. In group one, we got Porsha, we got Shamia, and we got Kelly. They're going to do the bartending. So they go to Coyote Ugly Bartending. And then for group two, we got Britt, Shamia. I'm sorry, not Jamia. We got Britt, Cynthia, Angela, and Drew. They're doing the whiskey tasting, and they go to Nashville Barrel Company to do that. So now they switch back from both groups doing their activities. We see group one, they're having a good old time. They're on top of the bar taking shots coyote style. They're taking shots of Clase Azul, which is a tequila I want to get. I never had it, but the bottle is so pretty. I think I want to get one for my birthday. But anyway, so they taking shots. They on top of the bar now. They doing it coyote style, which is no hands. You basically get on top of the bar on all fours, doggy style, and you pick the cup up with your mouth and take the shot back like that. So they do that. We also see that they're teaching them how to make drinks. They're turning up. They're twerking, celebrating Porsha. You know what I'm saying? Because it's her birthday trip. And meanwhile, in group two, we see they're doing a whiskey tasting. Group one looked like it was more fun. I think I would have probably been with group one, turning up with them. But who wouldn't enjoy a good whiskey tasting? So it does look like both groups were having fun, however. So I probably went with whatever group, but I probably would have wanted to do the bartending lesson, because either way you were having drinks. So, and that's what I'm here for. A good old time. A good old Nashville time. So now we see group one, Drew, as they're doing the whiskey. She says how she wants to get a bottle of the whiskey for Porsha, basically to extend the olive branch for her birthday. And, she's trying to smooth things over between them. Because like us all, she doesn't even understand what the issue is either. So now group one is talking, which is Porsha, Shamia, and Kelly, and they're talking about last night and the whole situation with Angela going hard for Drew. And Porsha feels like Angela was setting Drew up. She says that Angela, she's like, wouldn't you, if you wanted somebody to come on a trip? Because first of all, Kelly asked her, what's up with the girls from last night? Did they know Drew? And Kelly and Porsha says, yeah, they know Drew. Like, we all friends, we all hang out. So she was like, when they was asking where Drew at, it was more on some, why isn't she here? Because we're here. Not so much, sis. I'm going to keep it real. Like, it was they was being shady to Drew. They shaded her. They accused the girl of sucking the man off. And it was just too much. Like, so I don't think that was what the whole intent was, Porsha. No matter how much you try to clean it up, boo-boo. So anyway, now. So she's saying how Angela was setting Drew up because Angela was basically like, she's trying to twist it and make it seem like instead of trying to like vouch for Drew and make it easier and more welcoming for her, she was causing conflict with that. And I don't get how she was saying Angela was setting Drew up. So then Shamia decides to pipe in and she says how she overheard, she was in the car with Angela on the way to, what was this? They had the peace brunch. And she said Angela basically had told her that she heard Drew was talking about her to Kelly and she don't trust Drew. Mind you, they showed the flashback and what Angela actually said was she heard from Drew that Kelly was talking about her, had some shady things to say about her. So she want to check that out and see what's good. But she also did say what worried her the most was Drew's reaction. But Shamia, you got the story mixed up. So sit down, sis. I know you're trying to defend your sister and be on her side. But girl, if you're going to do something like that, get the story right. So now we back at group 2 at the whiskey tasting and they're talking about the last night as well. And Angela's saying how she feels like Porsha is angry at her because she didn't want Drew to come. And she bought Drew because she thought they was good friends. And why is it like this? So she was trying to like bury the hatchet. So, and she says she feels like, everybody was coming at her. So Britt pipes in and says, that's probably because you was like playing a victim. So Angela's like, what do you mean? How am I playing a victim? So Britt is saying, oh, you was playing a victim because you saying when you're playing a victim, the fact that you don't know you were playing a victim, that's you being a victim. You're claiming you're under attack, but you don't see your part in it. And as Britt was singing this, I was like, hold up. You are telling somebody they're playing a victim? Baby, you are the wrong person to be talking about somebody playing a victim because that is who you are this season, the victim. You have been playing the victim from this Kenya thing for weeks now, claiming she's the reason why you went under investigation for your insurance license when, bitch, you probably did some other shit and that's why you was under inspection, under investigation, because there's no way 48 hours after she showed them posters, you were under investigation. How did they find that out? Somebody at her event was one of your insurance people? What? Girl, you got the nerve to say Angela is playing the victim. Honey, that's laughable, okay? Victim is you. You have been playing the victim, honey. That's your part this season. So, not too much, Miss Britt. Anyway, then also Britt, so they start going back and forth and talking, and Britt is saying she feels like Angela wasn't trying to hear her part out and this and that, and Angela was telling her, no, it's not like that. So Britt opens her mouth to say how, right now you see what I'm going through. That's not a time to try to point the finger at me. Basically, sis she was mad because Angela called her out on her lie about her license. She didn't want Angela to chime in and say nothing. She wanted to sit there and cry and play the victim and nobody question her. Everybody just go, oh, Britt, poor Britt, I'm so sorry. But Angela wasn't with it. And she clocked you, sis. She clocked you. And that's the real reason why you mad. Let's talk about it. All right, so now Drew chimes in and she says, because now Britt is saying she feels like nobody was supporting her. Everybody was supporting Kenya. So Drew chimes in and says, us showing up to the brunch was us supporting you, sweetie. Like, hello, 2 and 2. Connect the dots, Britt. Anyway, so now we see group 1. They back in their sponsor, headed back to the place. And group 2 still at the whiskey tasting. Cynthia decides she wants to defend Brett and tell them, unless your face is up on that poster, then you come talk to me about it. Nobody can't tell this lady how she feel. Yeah, Cynthia, I get that. We can't tell her how she feel, and we can't take away from what she experienced. But what we're not going to do is let her sit here and call somebody else out for playing a victim when that's what she's doing. That's what we're not going to do. Now. So now the ladies get back to the lodge and then Porsha lets them know they got time to unwind and relax and chill a bit before dinner, I guess is what they got a line dancing lesson coming up. So now we see Porsha, she FaceTimes Dennis and PJ. Whatever. Ladies are pre-gaming. So now Porsha comes in as they're pre-gaming. Porsha comes in and her energy is just off. She's just giving. So everybody like, hey, so Britt like, Pusha P, what's wrong? What's the matter? Why you get what you getting? Everybody like, what's going on, sis? So she just like, we going downstairs or what? So, okay. So they go downstairs now for the line dancing lesson. So now she lets us know that her energy, I guess, changed because before she came down to meet with the ladies, she got a phone call from somebody about Drew and Dennis filming together. We talked about this last episode. I remember in episode 2, at the end of episode 2, when she confronted Dennis about filming with Drew and all that, she was real mad about it. And she told him, if you film with any other housewife, it's going to be a problem. So now, she said that after that, she and him had a conversation, and he told her he wasn't going to film with Drew. And then she found out that they filmed together. So she's over it. She says that he said he was going to film with Drew, and Drew said she wasn't going to film with him. But yet they're filming together behind her back. So that, she ain't feeling that. So now they do the line dancing lesson. Mind you, the line dancing instructor looked like he was a hoot of fun, honey. All right, so now after the line dancing lesson with the line dancing guys, they sit down for dinner. And as they sit down for dinner, Porsha still, her energy is just off. Not for nothing, she was definitely giving dark cloud. That's what it was giving. Like, oh my gosh, black cloud in the room. So now they asking Porsha, what's wrong, girl? Like, you acting off. What is going on, sis? Like, so she's still not talking. She's like, oh God, she's acting real nonchalant about it. So now Britt wants to fill the ladies in on a conversation she had with Angela earlier about Angela playing a victim. So Angela was like, I still don't really see how I'm playing a victim. I'm sorry. So Britt was like, so you took nothing from that conversation? And Angela was like, no, I don't see how am I playing a victim. So Angela was like, you called me the victim. And also last night, Porsha called me victimina. So I want to know how y'all get to that conclusion, Porsha. Why am I the victim? Porsha's like, I don't remember. Eating. That energy fell. So now Angela wants to know, like, how am I the victim? And y'all telling me for accountability. What about Porsha accountability? So she's like, remember, Kelly, you asked her a question. We still never got an answer. Porsha, she want to know why you stole that lady husband. So you know, honey, that's a red line for Porsha, honey. That's a what's that word? That's a button, a hot button for a hot issue button for Porsha, honey. So why she asked Porsha that? So Cynthia's like, oh, I think we need to change the subject. So she's like, Porsha, do you want to answer Angela's question? So Portia's like, oh, Angela could kiss my ass. Excuse me? Okay, all right. So now Angela like, oh, I guess the whole world could kiss your ass then, girl. And Porsha was like, you first. So Drew jumps in and she says she wants to address the elephant in the room. So she says, first of all, Porsha, happy birthday. I'm here to show you some support. But you know I wasn't invited, so I just want to know, like, are you okay with me being here? Porsha was like, you straight. Still, with the same energy. So Drew was like, up. Drew caught it. She clocked it. So Drew was like, all right, you know what, everybody? I came, but I didn't come empty-handed. You know, I bought a gift. I got you a bottle, Porsha. They can leave it for you or whatever. Make sure you get it. And so everybody have a good night, but I'm about to get up out of here. So everybody was like, what's going on, Drew? Why you leaving? What's going on? Why you leaving? So Drew was pretty much giving, like, you know, I don't got a time for this energy, you know. She's being nice, nasty. I'm asking her a question. She's not answering me no question. She's not answering me. She's giving very... she was like, and I wasn't invited anyway. So as she's leaving, Porsha in her confession was like, sayonara. So after she leave now, they like, Cynthia was like, you know, do you have a problem with her being Porsha? With her being here, Porsha? Is it okay? So Portia's like, I did not do nothing to make this girl feel uncomfortable. So she says about Angela, I don't know what's going on with Angela, what she got going on, what's up with that. But that one, Drew, I can't with the dramatic stuff. I want to address the elephant in the room. I can't. Like, I did nothing to make you feel uncomfortable this whole time you was here. So now we see Shamia and Angela, they go to check on Drew. And Drew is pretty much letting them know, like, she's not here for this. She came here to extend the olive branch. How many olive branches could she extend? Right. Like, you ain't got to kiss her ass, please. I would have came on her trip, turned up. That's crazy, because you know what I would have did? I would have came on her trip, turned up, and paid her dust for the whole trip. Pay her. I would have gave happy birthday, and that would have been the only word she got from me for the whole trip. I would have came to your trip, turned up, and paid to dust on your trip. So now that Cynthia, we see Cynthia, she go to check on Porsha, and she's, you know, Portia's telling her, you know, she's going through a lot right now. She don't need this. So she also lets Porsha, like, know that, honestly, that energy wasn't directed towards nobody downstairs or whatever. Like, she's just going through a lot, and it's, like, piling on. And she lets Porsha know, like, she got a phone call that kind of upset her. She didn't tell her the details of the phone call, but she let her know. So, you know, this is all just piling in on her, and she just starts to break down, and Cynthia gives her some words of wisdom. She thanks Cynthia for being a friend. Thank you for being a friend. Travel around the world and back again. So yeah. So then we see Porsha. They talking. Porsha's taking her lashes off, and Cynthia was like, "Girl, when you taking your lashes off?" Porsha was like, "Girl, we breaking down." Porsha said, "Later for that." So she started to pull her. So now later that night, we see Britt, Kelly, Porsha, Shamia, and Cynthia all turning up in the pool. They lit, and Angela's up in her room getting ready for bed. So we find out that the next day, because they was turned up. So the next morning, they come up, wake up, and we see it's money all over the pool area. This is day 3 of the trip, the final day. We see food left out and all that. It's just a mess, honey. These girls, you could tell they had a good time. So now, Britt and Kelly are in bed together. And they're in the room, like, how we in a room with 4 beds and we both in one? So now they're talking about how Angela was watching them from the window last night and she was recording them. So I'm like, Angela, let me find out you pulling a Britney. So now Angela tells us her version. She tells us how she was getting on the phone with Charles and she heard them outside and she heard her name. So she started listening. So she said they was talking about her dress, talking about her husband. And then she overheard Porsha say, I will fuck her husband. Talking about Charles. So she said, let me pull out my phone and start recording. So she said the recording wasn't that long. Based on what we saw, it looked like she didn't really catch much. But she said the recording wasn't that long. She said, so since they kept saying Angela calling my name, I said, fuck that, let me go see what they want. So she went downstairs and we see that she let them know what she heard. And she said Porsha got hit it. She asked Porsha, and Porsha was like, I ain't say nothing about you, and hit it. Porsha was like, I don't want to be on camera. You heard her saying that. I'm not on camera. So now everybody's giving their version. The person behind the camera is asking Porsha, did she say that she would fuck Angela's husband? And Porsha's giving, I don't know what she's talking about. I ain't say anything. Nor did she say anything. What she's saying basically is saying that was the Henny talking. I said it, but that wasn't me. That was the Henny talking. So now, Kelly is saying Britt is saying she remember them saying something about Porsha, about Charles having a baby on Angela, and Shamia said Charles be all around town with all these men, allegedly. So then Kelly was like, all I remember is Shamia said she better stop before I fuck her husband. So you didn't say it, Porsha? So now we basically see the next morning, Angela's getting ready. She's getting dressed, packing her stuff. Her and Drew are getting ready, waiting for their ride. And Kelly comes down to say good morning. And Angela's like, good morning, but I'm not going to be fake. So Kelly's like, what you mean? What? I'm not. I always say good morning. And Angela's like, and I receive it. Good morning, but I'm not trying to be fake right now. Like, basically, in other words, girl, good morning. I ain't got shit to say to you. Get out my face. Go sit down somewhere. So then Angela speaks some true facts. And she says, you better listen when Porsha says she will fuck your man. Because as history has shown us, she will fuck your man. And so the episode ends with her and Drew pulling off in their ride, leaving. And she was like, Shamia's, what did she call them? She didn't say lap dogs. I forgot the word she used, but she was like Shamia and Kelly was basically like soldiers for Porsha, pretty much her minions, pretty much. I forgot the word she used, but yeah. That's how the episode ended. I did enjoy this episode because it was a trip, and I usually do enjoy episodes where there are trips, but Porsha is getting on my nerves. I'm gonna keep it real, Porsha. You are getting on my nerves. This energy was given. You was being a dark cloud this episode. And then she was like how she was light with them, which is true. She was like, because if I would have met them where they was at, honey, I would have lit their asses up. She was like, but I kept it cool. She was being very passive aggressive. She wasn't being petty P. I will say that. But I just wasn't liking her energy. I don't like this whole thing you got going with Drew, sis. Let's wrap this up, please, because I can't do this no more. A lot of people have been saying, Porsha, that you are coming across this season as a friend of, and I must concur. You don't have much going on. Your whole storyline has been Drew. And the girls ain't buying it, sis. We not here for it. So cut it out with all of this bashing Drew, trying to, defame her name. Cut it out, please. So yeah, but she did definitely say that she's not gonna bring that to Drew. She did say she's not gonna bring that to Drew because Dennis is the only one who has a commitment with her. So basically, he's gonna catch all the smoke. As he should. That's the one thing you're smart about, Porsha. I think that's the one smart thing you said all season. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think of the episode. We're halfway through. And I can officially say now that we are halfway through, I'm not going to even lie. Angela's my fave. I don't know why. She's my fave. For some reason, I like what she's bringing. I feel like she's holding the girls accountable. She's holding the girls' feet to the fire. And I feel like she can hold her own. I do like Shamia, but I do want her to get up from out of Porsha's ass. I am really loving Kelly, but sometimes it gives pick me. Like, you want to really be Porsha's friend badly. We already know how I feel about Britt, Miss Victim, bringing nothing to the show. I like what Cynthia's bringing. Drew. You know what's crazy? I do like Drew. I really like Drew. But Drew just... Drew, she be drewing, and I can't. Wow, okay? But anyway, I am enjoying the season. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad either. So let's stick with it and see how the other half of the season goes. Let's see what happens when Miss Phony Faye shows up. But yeah, thank you for watching, and have a great day.